Arthur is genuine and authentic. I've known him for many years, going on 5 years now. We've had hundreds of hours of conversations, both in person and on the phone. And for what it's worth, I vouch for him. But that doesn't mean anything to you if you don't know me. So again, weigh this with your own discernment. Now, Arthur has a little bit of a sloppy mouth, so to speak, a dirty mouth. He curses throughout, so if you're faint of heart with that sort of thing, I apologize. But again, I'm sharing it in its entirety. So without further ado, let's now dive into some of the more interesting excerpts from what Arthur shared with me a couple days ago. There's a lot going on right now. I would guess that nobody but me and maybe 100 other people on Earth right now know what's happening because I'm an I.O. And I think he means an information operative. I believe that Arthur is an information operative. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comment section. He says, I'll just give you a quick scenario and rundown. None of this is on TV, and none of this may surface this year. Remember in 2015 I told you we started a military coup? Yeah, I remember. Arthur said, because Obama said bring me 10 aircraft carriers and we're going to convert them to NATO. And the admiral said, go fuck yourself. They took them back out. That was the beginning of a military coup. It got worse from there as to what Bill and Hillary and Obama got into. It got much worse. It went downhill to the point where Putin told Trump to run for president. He said to Trump, because Obama is going to put a new world order with himself and Hillary in. So somebody is going to have to take America back, or you're going to lose your country and your hotels. These people are just about information operative. These people are just about radical fairness. You know, New World Order style. Spread the money around. Well, it got to the point where Trump got into office and he and his team noticed that there was $7 trillion missing. Obama put us $11 trillion in debt, but Trump couldn't find $7 trillion of it. They didn't build any bridges, any airports, no buildings, no pipeline, didn't build a fucking thing. Well, where's the $7 trillion? Trump started finding hints and things from the CIA, the FBI, Interpol, etc. Obama was vicious and knew that if he got Hillary in, everything would be okay. But what Trump did is he put Blackwater, SEAL Teams 2, 4, 6. He also brought in Delta Force, some CIA spoofs. These people are just about radical, in Delta Force, some CIA spoofs, black operative guys. That's his security. He doesn't have the Secret Service. He's got my guys, nasty fuckers. They play to win all the time, every game. They don't necessarily give a shit as long as the good guys survive and their mission is carried out. Trump got attacked by the FBI. The Illuminati sent some people in and said, hey fucker, you're not the first to take us on. Kennedy tried to shut down the Federal Reserve and take out the US Treasury. I don't know if you've ever watched the Jekyll Island documentary by Glenn Beck. And I said, no, but I read The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin. Arthur said, okay, so what Obama got into was flagrant and a huge abuse of power. Trump got wind of it just before Christmas and he signed an executive order. Brought in Delta Force, executive order. Meanwhile, everyone's asleep. They're looking at this Russian collusion propaganda. Trump signed an executive order and nobody caught on for 30 days. The executive order deals with a national security threat. Now, if you don't know the UCNGA military law and tribunal law, it probably doesn't mean a thing to you. You might say, so what? He's dealing with a national security threat. With one more signature, and without Congress's approval, he can take us into martial law. Anytime from December 21st, 2017 through December 21st, 2019. Anytime he wants. With the national security threat, he froze the assets of about 9,000 people, companies, and corporations. We're talking about the pedophile rings, the deep state, the dark state, the 4,000 companies that Obama bought in Africa with taxpayers $7 trillion. Trump froze all the assets, all the titles, executive order. Meanwhile, all the titles worldwide. I said, Yeah, I read about that. I have it here in front of me. It's called the Pursuant to the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, signed on December 21st, 2017, the winter solstice. That's the exact one you're referring to, right? Arthur said, that's it. He signed 2 more. He signed one on the 23rd and one on the 27th, which expanded it, Adam. The reason he is rebuilding Gitmo so fast, you know, Disneyland is having power failures, pipes are bursting at LaGuardia. What he's doing is he's picking people up. The arrests have already begun. Well, that's what I suspected. I heard that there were a number of people that they were trying to catch, so they created convincing headlines to avoid drawing too much attention. They also caught some people inadvertently by thwarting gun smuggling operations. All the titles worldwide. They also caught some people inadvertently by thwarting gun smuggling operations. They grounded flights, they shut things down, but then had to provide a story that the public would believe to explain why there was such a significant disruption. Arthur responded, well, Atlanta Hub only has 5 backup generators and 3 turbine sets. It's without power? No fucking way. I said, I also heard today that they issued an order to expand Guantanamo Bay to house an additional 13,000 inmates with maximum security. And they said it would be for migrants, but let's get real. There's now just over 13,000 sealed indictments. Seems like the alliance is in the final stages of preparation for mass arrests. Arthur said, well, this got on your radar, but it didn't get on anybody else's. I don't know if you've ever seen military tribunal law, but they also caught some people inadvertently by thwarting gun smuggling operations. Tribunal law, but because of the National Security Act, there will be no civilian trials for anybody who is a threat to national security. I said, really? So we shouldn't expect to see public trials for the Illuminati? There will be no civilian trials for the Illuminati. It's going to be military tribunal when we get around to it. The general attitude in the alliance right now is, if you're a threat to national security, we don't have to give you a civilian trial. And if he goes to martial law, he meaning Trump, he can just point his finger and say, put that fucker away and I'll tell you when to bring back the key. I said, when do you think the hammer is coming down on the 13,000 indictments? He didn't really answer the question, as you'll see, but he goes into tribunal